Dang it, you can't get it, huh? Ah, you want it so bad, huh? Oh, you want it so bad. Oh, you can't get it though. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about baby proofing because man, it is real in my house. But before I get started, make sure you subscribe and find me on Instagram at Yara. Baby proofing is truly for those few seconds that you just don't realize how fast your baby can be. Like if he just darts towards the staircase, or he, tries to pull himself up on a table, or he decides he wants to start walking someday, That's what I found baby proofing is for. So I'm starting to just kind of watch what becomes a problem and then solve it at that time. Because our house is really modern, I ran into a lot of issues actually with baby proofing products because they're not really made for a modern home. If you plan to have babies anytime soon and you guys are looking for a house, try not to get a house that's modern. It seemed cool when we didn't have babies. Now that we have a baby, holy moly, it is a mess. All right, so the first thing that we did to baby proof, because it has gotten super real in this household, when Nikosh started crawling, he became very fascinated with our stairs, and I can understand that. I'm fascinated with them too, they're so pretty. He immediately wanted to go directly towards the stairs, and that's probably one of my biggest nightmares, is him falling down the stairs. The first issue that we ran into with these floating stairs is that there aren't banisters, and a lot of the gates that are out there tend to use banisters, or it can only go like a certain length, and we had a lot of issues with that. So the solution I found is called the Stair Barrier. I like it for a few reasons. One, it's like a cloth material that has boards kind of in it, so it makes it a little bit stiffer, and because it's cloth, you can roll it up and kind of like tuck it away when you're not using it. They make their barrier in different sizes, and one of those sizes was long enough to just completely block our whole staircase area off, and it's not ugly. I think that's a big thing. We took so much time. We literally spent like a year shopping for our home, and we picked one that we loved, and we loved the way it looks, and I didn't really want to make it ugly with baby proofing. And I know that that's like, boo-hoo because now you're a parent, but it was just something that I kept in mind, and I feel like the Stair Barrier is really nice. You can get it plain, or they have other designs, and I like it. It kind of just goes with our aesthetic. So the next problem after our stairs was that he started pulling himself up. So he'd crawl, grab something, and pull himself up on it. We have this square marble table. It's really, really hard, and we had to buy this kind of stuff. It's like super padding, and we had to actually go all the way around our table with it. And it has really been great because it actually serves two purposes. It makes the corners really soft, and he chews on it too while he's teething. He loves to just gnaw at this. So that's kind of awesome that he's got something like this to chew on. We bought the little corners just like this too, and we put them on like our media console and any other area that has like a sharp corner. We just pop those on. It uses that 3M tape that's really, really sticky. He's been able to get one of the corners off so far, but that's about it. Some other brands of corner protectors come off so easily, and they just end up becoming like a choking hazard, or just annoying as all hell to keep having to reapply, and your child just finds it as a challenge to remove it. So these have been great. I highly, highly recommend these. The next issue, same with the learning how to like pull himself up, is the electrical outlets. We have constantly started changing out our electrical outlets all over our living room. We started, and then it moved into our bedroom because that's the other place that we kind of let him roam about, his bedroom. And we ended up getting the outlets that slide over so that he can still like touch them, but we don't have to worry about him putting his fingers in. They're kind of adult proof at first too. You'll find a lot of the baby proofing products are adult proof until you really get the hang of it, but you put the cord kind of like right into it, and then you slide it over, and then you push it into the socket, and it works really easily. It has not been a problem. One thing to keep in mind is the first products that I ordered had like a center screw for the outlet plates, and it turns out we don't have a center screw. We have double screws, one on the top and one on the bottom, and that didn't work. So I had to send those back, reorder, and then change out all of our outlets. I did the same thing with the outlet cover boxes. So this is the safety first outlet cover. You basically can keep some of your appliances plugged in because, there are things, we have like Alexa and stuff, and those things need to stay plugged in, but he becomes fascinated by them because they're plugged into the wall and he's able to reach them. I had to order different covers. These ones ended up being fine because they have the top and bottom screws. It's large enough to fit the cord so they can stay plugged in, but then you can wrap the cords up in these too and keep them in there so that there isn't much for the baby to pull on, and then you don't have to worry so much about, you know, them pulling it out and then sticking their finger in it or anything like that. So we have regular outlet covers on these, but then they're covered. But there's also the Safety First brand, and these, again, pay attention to what kind of outlet covers you have. These use the center screw, so I have to send these back. The other thing that we're finding is he's obsessed with the cabinets. And you know, one thing that I think back on is I wish I would have handled the cabinets before it became an issue, because he now knows that he can open these cabinets and how it works, because he's gotten them open and he takes everything out. He will go to town. He will pull everything out and make sure that, you know, you have a big nice mess to have to go through later on. So I ended up getting first these magnetic locks. There's a ton of brands that make them, and essentially how it works is this lock goes on to the inside of the door, and this is on the, you know, inside of the cabinet, and it's supposed to just kind of like lock in place. Like it just kind of clips into place. And then there's like a little magnetic key that you can use to just easily unlock it, and the baby doesn't understand, so they pull on it. But back to having a modern home, I didn't realize that these wouldn't work in our house. I tried to install these, but we don't have much surface in our cabinets. They're very like open cabinets. We have drawers on top of the cabinets, so there's no place to stick this top one, and you know, it just became a big issue. I wanted these to work so bad because then they're hidden and you can't see them, but they didn't work. So what I ended up getting, I don't find these to be very good looking at all, but it's the only thing that I'm finding it works, are these safety locks. And what you do is you just stick one side onto your cabinet and one side onto whatever else there is. You know, it showed in the pictures that you could do that number, and you just kind of put it on the cabinet and then around the side of the cabinet, so it's a little bit more hidden. But our cabinets don't work like that. So these are on our drawer and then the cabinet. So it's a little annoying because we have to unlock it every single time we either open a drawer or we open the cabinet. That's something to think about, but I'm telling you, it's so much better than having to clean up after your baby and watch and make sure he doesn't break anything when he's opening those cabinets, because it becomes an obsession. These work. Another thing that's becoming an issue, it hasn't become a huge issue yet, but I want to try to tackle it, is the infant camera. So we have that set up, and at first I thought I could use one of those little clear boxes for the outlet, but he's actually able to reach the cord because there's one near his crib. So I've been looking for stuff like this, and I think this is what I'm going to end up using. It's a cable concealer. I'm still debating this one because I'm not sure if he's gonna just be obsessed with this thing on the wall and try to break it off. The other thing that I'm considering is maybe getting like a white tape to kind of hide the cord and maybe conceal it against the wall, like maybe up in the edges. I'm gonna try this. We'll see if this works out. I'll keep you guys updated in the comments and let you know if this worked or if it didn't. The other issue that we're starting to see, he's starting to kind of climb. He's not good at it yet, but I don't want him to get good at it. He's starting to climb our railing. And so I bought this. It is made for the railings of your staircase, and it is for baby proofing. You essentially just kind of like fish it through the railing, and it has these little zip ties that you punch little holes into the edges of it, and then you zip tie it, and then you just keep it there until you don't need it anymore. And so I haven't installed this just yet because I think it's gonna make our whole place look ugly. And I actually think he might become fascinated with it because it's like shiny plastic and he might wanna chew it, or he might wanna like play with it and stuff. So far what he's done is he's like tried to climb it and then he gets stuck and he can't get down and he doesn't try it anymore. So he hasn't done it yet, but if he does, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna like fish it right through our railings, and it's gonna be really ugly, but there is a solution. So that's what I've been doing for baby proofing. I'm sure some other stuff will come up, but right now this is what works for me. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments below or share your baby proofing stories and tips. If you don't know, I have a YouTube channel called Fam for All Moms, and we have a baby proofing video there. We also have a private Facebook group where other moms are sharing information and asking questions. I'll leave a link to that below so you can join it. And don't forget to subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you soon.